All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I have for you guys, isn't it obvious? Hafthor Bjornsson. We talked about this a couple news videos ago. He recently posted a picture of his scale, weighing himself at 172.5 kgs, which is roughly 380 pounds, for a total of roughly over 70 pounds of weight lost over the past 4 or 5 months. So he's lost a lot of weight in a relatively short amount of time. And today he posted a physique update, flexing in the mirror with, of course, abs. Probably the only man on the planet to be 380 pounds plus with abs. Think of how ridiculous that number sounds. And of course, you can see my comment there. What's going on, you guys? Of course, I had to make a video about this update. It's always cool to see a Hafthor physique update. It's always interesting from an anatomy perspective, or just from a sheer, human being perspective, looking at a guy that is 380 pounds with abs. And to say that Hafthor, think about how crazy that statement is. He's lean at 380. He lost 70 pounds to get to 380. He has abs at 380. Think about how insane that statement is, even though he's 6'9" or however tall he is. Just imagine having that conversation with your buddies like, yeah, man, I would really like to get under 380 pounds. That would be like my sweet spot where my abs will start showing again, right around 380, maybe 375. Dude, it's crazy. He was like 450. I believe the official weight was 455 when he got to 501 kgs. So I'll leave it up to you guys. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. How do you think he lost this much weight this quickly? Because 70 plus pounds since May is a pretty incredible amount of weight. And keep in mind, right in the middle of that weight loss, maybe a month and a half ago, was the Iceland strongest man. So he was still competing in Strongman, even though he's prepping and trying to lose weight for this fight with Eddie Hall in 2021. Now, speaking of his fight with Eddie Hall, let's take a quick look at an update from Eddie Hall that he posted on his Instagram page. With nearly 500,000 views, the most recent boxing footage update that we've got from Eddie. Eddie has also been downsizing for this fight, trying to lose weight, trying to up the conditioning, trying to up his speed. And he's a little bit further along, I would say, than Hafthor is as far as upping the speed and upping the conditioning. And you can see some of that speed in this video here. Now, I believe Eddie is also over 300 pounds. I think he's not 380, but I believe he's under 350. I could be wrong, but he's significantly shorter than Hafthor. I believe 7 inches shorter than Thor, but he looks a lot faster here. He's had a little bit more boxing experience than Thor, is my understanding. Eddie had a couple exhibition matches years ago, but this most recent footage that he posted on his Instagram here is pretty impressive. Who do you guys think is going to win this fight? Are you Team Eddie? Or are you Team Thor? And why? Right now, I'm really torn. I'm really dead in the middle. I don't really know who I want to win or who I think will win, but I'm excited for the fight. We're over a year away, though, so it's all good. Now, speaking of boxing, this was kind of the story that shook the internet today. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. has apparently been confirmed. So the YouTube sensation, Logan Paul, to fight arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest boxers of all time in Floyd Mayweather Jr. This was an interesting announcement because of the fact that Logan, he became a pro boxer, but he tied one of his boxing matches and lost the other, both against another YouTuber. Not an established boxing champion, but just another YouTuber. He hasn't even beaten a YouTuber in the boxing ring. So the insane thing to me is, like, how are they going to sell this fight like Logan even has a chance here? To sell a fight and make it seem appealing, there's got to be like a element of it being a good matchup. And I hate to say it, but I feel like this isn't really a great believable matchup. There's not really a whole lot of believability that Logan is going to stand a chance against somebody like Floyd Mayweather Jr. And apparently this is happening like soon. Winter of 2020 is apparently the alleged date of this supposed boxing match. So this was an interesting story. I know it's kind of outside of the realm of what I usually talk about, but being a YouTuber, this was just an interesting story to me. I don't know how Logan got in this position or got this deal or got this contract on the table, but somehow he did, and he'll be fighting apparently Floyd Mayweather this winter. So let me know again what you guys think in the comment section about this. This is an interesting one. It's definitely, I don't really understand why this matchup makes sense to anybody. I just don't get it, man. I mean, maybe they're going to go with the argument or try to sell it on the fact that Logan is significantly taller, probably significantly heavier, significantly bigger than Mayweather, so maybe they could sell that as an advantage and kind of try to present that as a realistic case for him beating Floyd, but I don't know, man. I don't see it. All right, so next up in the news, let's talk about bodybuilding again. So many of you guys noticed and sent to me and were asking me, if you went on the Olympia website and look at the Mr. Olympia qualified list for 2020, there's been a new name added to that list without much explanation. Lee Sung-chol from South Korea has been added to the men's open bodybuilding qualified competitors list of the Mr. Olympia. A lot of you guys were asking me, why is this? How did this happen? What show was this? Who is this guy? And fear not, my friends, of course, I have an explanation for you. So it's a little bit weird. The Monster Zim Pro show in Korea, it was canceled originally and then postponed. But I guess, from what I understand, it still happened. So they did this Monster Zim show, I guess without telling anybody and without publicizing it. And they say on their Instagram, the 2020 IFBB Monster Zim Pro was held this month on the following dates, 9/2, 9/4, and 9/6. So like 2 weeks ago. And for whatever reason, they just now came out with the scorecard with Lee Sung-chol in first. Samson Dauda, the only bodybuilder that wasn't from Korea in this lineup, taking second. And then you can see third and fourth there. So a little bit weird circumstances. So this happened 2 weeks ago. And the scorecards and the addition to the Olympia competitor list just happened. So I don't know all the details about this. I haven't seen a whole lot of pictures, just this one picture on their Instagram. But that is why this guy got added to the lineup. And the guy has a pretty impressive physique. If you look at his Instagram, he's got a posing video on there from August 24th, which is a few weeks out from that Monster Zim show. He's got a pretty aesthetic physique, some classic lines. His conditioning looks decent. He's got some good size to him. I personally hadn't heard of him before now. I'd heard of Samson Dauda before. Just kind of an interesting situation, man. It's been an interesting year for bodybuilding. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's the answer to your guys' question. That is the guy that got added to the Olympia list that everybody's been asking me about. It happened at the Monster Zim Pro, and they just now came out with the results, I guess. Interesting. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today is a Flex Lewis arm workout. So he posted these on his Instagram story. He's kind of showing his arm workout here, one of the few updates that we've seen from Flex going into the 2020 Mr. Olympia. As you guys know, he is doing men's open bodybuilding for the first time. And he recently went on and did an interview on the Digital Muscle YouTube channel on their Monday Night Muscle podcast. And in that interview, he was asked basically how he thinks he will place in the men's open lineup, and Flex makes no vagueness about it. He says he will beat Phil, he will beat Brandon, he will beat Dexter, he will win the show. Obviously, everybody is training to win. Hopefully nobody is training for third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Everyone's training to be the next Mr. Olympia. But I'll tell you what, that statement comes with a little bit more zest when it's coming from someone like Flex Lewis that has already won 7 Mr. Olympia titles, even albeit in another category. The statement that he's going to beat all those guys and win the men's open Olympia, it just has a little bit more just tang to it because he's already done it so many times. Now he's just got to do it in a new division. And I have said it before, my top 3 predictions in no particular order for the 2020 Mr. Olympia: Flex, Brandon, and Phil. That will be your top 3. That's my prediction for the top 3. Again, I'm not saying the order. I'm not saying who I think is going to win. But I think Flex will be in that top 3. Could he possibly be number 1? I like Brandon. I like Phil. Yes, Phil, I like you. Even if you hate me, I like you as a bodybuilder. I think you're a fantastic bodybuilder. I don't want to make any mistake about that. I do like Phil. I like Phil as the next Mr. Olympia champion. I like Phil as a favorite to win. He's got one of the best physiques that bodybuilding has ever seen. When he's on, he's unstoppable, but the question is, what if Phil's off? What if his midsection problem's not fixed? What if Flex is 110% on? Could Flex beat Phil and Brandon? Let me know in the comment section below. That's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already and you enjoyed this video. Subscribe. Let's get to 1 million. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.